I'll touch a few of these. One is around election operations. Our support to the election management body has greatly improved the elections operations of the EMDs. Specifically, I give an example of the Election Operations Support Center, which is a system that has been put in place, and it is, in real time, is able to assess the movement of men and material during elections. This is able to give the Commission, both INEC, of course, and the State Independent Electoral Commissions, the strategic information to be able to, mitigate issues that come up on elections or during the elections period, specifically the distribution of materials, the movement of men and materials to the field. If things are going amiss, that in real time is escalated to the Commission, and mitigative actions are taken. So that's one. I could also speak about an innovation, our support around the innovations on different technological interventions that have come into being. There are a number of technological interventions that the Commission and other CX have also adopted through our technical support from the funding of the PEARL. One of which we could say is the e-school. Some examples are, the IREF, the BVAS, and what have you. These are interventions that, through our support, are able to come on board. And they have improved the processes. They have improved accountability, transparency for the Commission in how the work is done. And you can see that some of the processes or technologies brought on board actually help the Commission to be able to accredit voters in real time and get voting taking place, and also upload the polling unit results to the back end where those ones can be viewed. That has practically brought about a good, transparent process for the Commission, where citizens now believe to a large extent in what is going on Elections Day. The CX, for instance, the PLAS, who is seated there, I'm sure when they come on board they will also speak to that, have also been able to adopt some of the technical skills that were brought on board, where the recruitment of staff for their election work was done through that. Registration of political parties that have done their primaries go up there to upload the names of the candidates. All these are technologies that have been brought on board that have helped sustainably and effectively the commissions to be able to do their work transparently and show that they are accountable to the people.
So I want to ask you, Obaranji, 30 seconds. What's the lesson you've learned and what's the lesson going forward? 30 seconds.
Okay. In 30 seconds, I think for me, democracy is about the people. So I think that we need to do more about getting people to become the drivers of democracy in this country.
Florence.
Right. I think it's extremely important as civil society to recognize that the government is not the enemy. That it is important that we build relationships, we build trust, and that should actually be mutual. For democracy to work, we all have to work together. Thank you.
Thank you. I will jump you and move to Kola. 30 seconds.
Okay, I think basically what we have learned in this journey with the support of PEN FCDO is that we should not think that conflict, or most especially electoral conflict, is something out of this world, is something that should not happen. But everywhere there is going to be a contest, there is going to be bound to be conflict. And we have also learned that most times for democracy, it is not the responsibility of those institutions to eradicate conflict, but it is the responsibility how we support them to resolve those conflicts, to improve the democratic process. And that is one lesson we have learned, and that is one thing we begin to, and we will continue doing, supporting them to be able to resolve conflict through the state peace committee architecture, through technology, and through information, and then bringing stakeholders together to have conversation. If you can't sit down to talk, you can't resolve it, and that is what we have learned.
Thank you very much.
30 seconds. For us, lessons learned is we need to leverage on technology. It's a very key strategy that has helped to improve the processes of elections. Secondly, capacity building for institutions like the election management body is important and key. And then the continuous voter education is a strategy that cannot be taken away. So I'll stop there.
Thank you. Something. What's your final?
Nigerians want more. Nigerians deserve better. And democratic institutions can deliver better. If and only if we all work together so that democracy can deliver its promise to the people.
Thank you, Samson. It sounds like a campaign slogan. And Mr. Clement.
Thank you. I think that having worked over several years, it's important that a lot of what we're doing is Nigerian-led initiative and backed by what Matthew described as the Three Musketeers, his direct line boss and Madeline, that we can achieve so very much in terms of collaboration. We did see several members of the Situation Room become active in INEC. Ugo is here, very effective in Bayelsa, in Edo, Sam Edu, and several of our colleagues who went to work with the INEC election management body. It's a long journey. We started a long time ago. The journey is continuing. And it's not going to happen one day, it's going to be incremental. So I think for all of us, it's a lesson learned that we must keep the faith and keep our commitment and our work going. Thank you.
Thank you.
People that you see on stage, even others in the audience, are direct beneficiaries of the Pearl program, which was also supported by the XCDO. They've worked in different parts of the country, and they will speak to some of the achievements they have made and also some very important lessons they've learned in the course of their work. And just to let you know, as panelists, you have about 2 minutes to actually speak to some of the issues that you would like to raise. And I will start with my right here, Dr. Udwa Okon, the Executive Director of Youth Alive Foundation. You received support from the International Foundation for Electoral Systems. Could you actually speak to some of the work that you...
So my name is Yudi Apan. And so we're implementing partners with IFS, and we're implementing the 2023 elections and voter education projects for the South-South region, all of the South-South region. And part of our strategy really was to, well, a key goal was to ensure increased participation of youths, women, and people with disabilities, right? And so part of our strategy was to be innovative about our programming. And so we wanted to bring voter information to people where they are and use the medium that people are familiar with. And in Nigeria, the most pervasive source of information is radio and social media. So we strategized that we pass voter information through those platforms. But we also wanted to have physical education with people. And so we thought that a lot of people from initial survey we had done really did not know about the voting process. Remember, 2023 election brought so many new things. We had the beavers, we had so many new processes that had to be done. And so we felt that we needed to meet people where they are, so like market women, like universities, and go to them. But not just go to them and speak about the voting process, but actually create a mock election simulated so that they can actually come, be educated, and go through the process until they vote. And that was really innovative and it made a lot of impact because we actually worked with INEC in the South states where we worked. They provided all the props we needed. They provided the booths, they provided, we printed specimen voting cards and all that. And so we actually did mock elections in the South in 4 states, and it was very effective. We actually reached over 8 million people, social media, radio, and physically. And we increased the participation of people with disability. We had a lot of disability associations, especially in Cross River State and Akwa Ibom State, who actually came out to vote, who we mobilized to vote, including members of those with disability, women, and youth in the voting process.
Thank you, Dr. Ujwak.
Yes, I'm very grateful I'm here today. I've been presenting my audit reports on the annual consulted financial statements of the Nigeria as submitted to me by Section 125, Subsection 5 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended. And we do this as a routine job. But luckily for us, sectors came on board. And you may wish to know that in 2020, we got 4th position. The sectors 2021, 2023, we got 1st position. And luckily for us again, state to state USAID came on board. Eboy was one of the 6 states that is currently still benefiting from them. They brought us together under open governance partnership with the CSOs. When they started, it was like a war because the society was not understanding. They thought the stakeholders were rubber stamps. But at the point, they started the understanding us, especially through DIJ Foundation on behalf of the CSOs. And so, by 2022, I now presented my audited financial statements to the public without arrangement. And they now knew that we were not rubber stamps. That was an opportunity for me to interpret the financial statements to the citizens. And after they presented the financial statements, my report, then I will also present what we call CAR, Citizens Accountability Report. I did that in 2022 for 2021, 2023 for 2022, and this year, 12th of July, I also gathered the citizens, including the traditional rulers, and 2 persons each from each local government area, and all the CSOs that are in Ebonyi State through the DIG. They came. I presented the Citizens Accountability Report. That was 12th July this year after submitting my financial statement on 25th of June this year for 2023. I presented it, and this same DIG Foundation that brought me here asked me to join them like I did last year for 2022. They dragged me to the northern part of Ebonyi State, the central zone, and the south zone to present the same Citizens Accountability Report, where I even used vernacular to explain to the citizens in the town hall meeting organized by DIG Foundation of the workings of the government as it affects the receipts and payments of Ebonyi State. So this year again, on 12 July, as I said before, I presented the dragged me again to the northern part of Ebonyi on 16th July again. They took me to the central. And then 23rd of September, I went to the south. Today, Ebonyans see me as somebody who presents what is actually going on as far as the finances of the state is concerned. So I'm so happy about it. It's no longer the time, even on retirement, you see Auditor General as if they were used. That's exactly what is going on. And in project monitoring of the citizens' budget, because in my state, citizens are asked, which are the projects you need in your various communities? And they asked me to bring two staff to follow the VIP Foundation to monitor the projects. Thank you very much.
Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. First, I'd like to appreciate the CSO chain for wonderful commitment you're making in our democratic process, and to also thank FCDO through Stakeholder Democracy Network for a wonderful commitment, painstaking efforts you're making, especially in Rivers State. I'd like to also apologize to you for the hiccups you had, like you explained what Rivers State, what would have ordinarily been seen as a conundrum in Rivers State, is being doused because of the kind of governor we have. His valiance, his audaciousness is what is making Rivers State what it is. Ordinarily, it would have been up in the air. But again, we are happy for this milestone. It's a very significant milestone achieved through Stakeholder Democracy Network on our drafting of Rivers State policy. I think this is the second in the entire country after Lagos. And for, like she stated earlier, the country director, for over 43 years, since the 1980, when the youth ministry was formed under the office of the deputy governor, passed through different ministries and eventually became a full-fledged ministry in 2008. This is the first time. And it again is in correlation with our River State succession plan, encapsulated in our preparedness plan for River State paradigm, from unemployability to resourcefulness. So we have benefited seriously from this policy. This policy is going to serve as a framework, as a structural framework for carrying out projects, plans, and programs for Rivers Youth. Before now, like you know, programs are carried out haphazardly without any direct plan. But with what we have now as a policy, we are going to mainstream Rivers Youth in different spheres. And you know, our governor represents the young mind. So the issue of youth is on the front burner in Rivers State. So we are also saying here that the spectrum is open for other CSOs, for Stakeholder Democracy Network to do more, that Rivers State is willing. Do not look at what you see on the pages of newspaper. Rivers State is stable, peaceful. There's a rising tide of peace and still waters of prosperity in Rivers State. So with this, we'll hit the ground running to make sure that we mainstream Rivers State youth into governance, into other sectors like entrepreneurship, skill acquisition, and all of those. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so very much. I'm Director of Planning Research and Statistics, Office of the Service. Our system, the public service, has so much enjoyed from the initiative of the FCDA. Let me use this opportunity to thank them, and also use the opportunity to thank Global Development Initiative for their efforts in bringing citizens' capacity. That's one of the things we benefited. And they did this through training and development. They did this to empower citizens to actively participate. When I say citizens, I mean these stakeholders, public servants, contractors, and non-governmental organizations, CSO, persons with disability, by way of enabling them to participate, to bring out what they feel about how governance is being run. We all know that corruption is one of the bane in achieving sustainable democracy in Nigeria. Now, through the initiative of Global Initiative, there's this project which they are really given to birth, which is at its early stage, is the enactment of a whistleblower legislation. And that whistleblower legislation is actually to foster or to safeguard against financial misconduct in the system. Not only that, it also will take care of infrastructural deficit. How? It is through the efforts of the whistleblower in blowing the whistle of this inappropriate ethical behavior that is carried out by government officials. Now, what other benefits do we have? Through those training and workshop, I think we're able to strengthen both the middle level and those at the directorate level to know their roles, especially those that work in relevant ministry like the Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Works, Ministry of Health, Office of the Head of Service, on the operationalization of what we had Delta State, and that's the public finance management law. And what are some of the benefits we derive? Like I earlier said, it has creates an awareness for this category of citizens to be able to participate so that we can enact this whistleblowing policy legislation.
I feel honored to be here today to share my experience, or my team's experience, or the committee experience with the House. As rightly mentioned, I am the chairperson of Edo State Peace Mediation Working Committee, who were established to foster dialogue and to make sure that there is peace in the whole of Edo State, especially as regards to the just concluded election. We tried our best. I'm here to make sure that we will set out, especially immediately after the inauguration here in Abuja, the actors, the aspirants, we make sure we meet them one by one, and that was what we did in Edo State. Then apart from that, we had a series of summits, the Edo State Peace Security Summit took place on the 10th, where all stakeholders came. Another thing that was so scary was when NPC, National Peace Commission, headed by Kuka and Abdul Salam came. Some of the party, I don't want to mention them, said they were not signing the peace accord. We were scared again. But I'm so happy to assure you, I've been in Edo State politics, so to say, as adult staff. I've seen what transpired before now. But I'm here to say that we are so happy, very, very happy, that the waking part carried us along with support from FCDO. We discovered that this year's election was so peaceful. We've never had it like this before. And I really want to commend Kimberly and commend the FCDO for the part they played. Thank you.
Thank you.